That's great. All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, and vanakkam in my language. So, I'm very happy to be part of the ICAAL 13. We have a big team of researchers who worked on War-Jaintia for almost 2 years, and here we are going to share some of our observations on the phonological sketch of War-Jaintia. As most of you assembled in this room know very well, War-Jaintia is spoken both in India and Bangladesh. Interestingly, the census data, if you see, we have from India, the latest census is only from 2011. We do have 51,558 War speakers. There is no specific number for War-Jaintia because the census gives us the number of War Khasis and War-Jaintia together. And in Bangladesh, they have 12,421 Khasi speakers, which also includes War. So we still do not have any authentic official document with the exact population of War-Jaintia. Nevertheless, we notice that in India, it is spoken in 96 villages, mainly under the Amlaram region, which is in West Jaintia Hills. And it's in Northeast India. And again, even in Bangladesh, it is in the Northeast direction in two districts, Sylhet and Mauli Bazar. In Bangladesh, of course, Khasi forms the largest subgroup. Our focus for today is only on the variety spoken in India. War-Jaintia, of course, they are one of the major Khasian subgroups from West Jaintia Hills. Amvi community in South Jaintia Hills is regarded as the parent tribe of the early Khasi Panar settlers. The community speak a variety of Khasian language and call it as War, which is in the Montgomery branch within the AA family. As I already mentioned, it's predominantly spoken in West Jaintia Hills. There are many varieties. Daladier noted three of them: Amvi War, Nongtalang, Nongbare War, and Sindai. We have worked on different villages. Our focus is on 22 villages as shown in this map because it's all scattered in Amlaram. Why we were interested in this is a few years back, just before COVID commenced, we were sanctioned with a project from Northeastern Council for developing orthographies for two languages, Lingam and War-Jaintia. So here, last time in ICAAL 11, we presented Lingam. Here we thought we will focus on the War-Jaintia. Why are we doing this phonological analysis? In our case, the primary goal is to create the first alphabet based on data elicited in 22 villages. But in this talk, I will not talk anything about orthography or how we created for lack of time. These are the 22 villages from 9 different circles located in West Jaintia Hills. We have collected data, at least in the Amlaram circle is the first one. There we have data from 5 villages. In other circles, 2 or 3 or sometimes 4. This is our research team. I'm happy to share their pictures with you. And these are some of the pictures with the community. We were working with different people, the headman, and you can see community people from different generations. Our team were eliciting data and interacting with them. And when it comes to classification of War-Jaintia, we do not see any specific classification. Going back to Grierson, he classified Khasi with 3 dialects: Lingam, Sintag, and War. Difflath, in 74, he talked about Khasi as one of the branches under the Montgomery group. In 1809, he introduced Khasian under the North group of Montgomery languages, along with Plaungic and Pyomic. After a few decades, in 2005, he reclassified Khasi as Khasi-Cumic under Montgomery, but there is no specific mention of War in Diffler's classification. However, we see some other scholars also who have worked, and here I'm only citing Ethnologue 2025, where War is put under the Northern Montgomery languages of AA family. Like other Khasian languages, we notice that War-Jaintia also has a moderately complex syllable structure, CCVC, and it has 23 consonants, 6 vowels, 2 diphthongs. These are the consonants, an average system. We can see that it's a little bit different from other Khasian languages. We have Cha and Sha as separate phonemes in War-Jaintia. Of course, we did notice Cha with a phonetic interpretation in Lingam, while Sha is not present. Vowels, we do have 6 simple vowels which are symmetrical. Like I mentioned earlier, the canonical structure of the syllable is similar to Lingam, Khasian, Panar, CCVC structure. War-Jaintia retains its Proto-Austroasiatic and Proto-Montgomery syllable structure features. We do have minor syllables. We have the patterns as CV, CVC, and CC, followed by CC. Major syllables, we do have 6 patterns. Here are some examples. We notice that in the minor syllable, the CV pattern occurs only word initially, whereas the other pattern can occur in both word initial and word medial form. The major syllable shows 6 types of syllable patterns and in all word positions as exemplified in this slide. We also come across the syllable patterns in monosyllabic, disyllabic, trisyllabic, and polysyllabic words. Phonological words are shown here. The abbreviations in the parentheses refer to the villages from where the data is elicited. For example, TB is Tangbuli. So NM is Nongtalang Mission. We also notice open and closed syllables in War-Jaintia. Here are some examples. Like many other Khasian and Montgomery languages, there are both minor and major syllables. I'm skipping that because we have already seen that. We see that the onsets of a minor syllable cannot be a cluster, while that of the major syllable can be a sequence up to 2 consonants. Here are some examples with a simple onset in minor syllable. And for major syllable, we do have simple and complex onsets. War-Jaintia permits only a single consonant in the coda position. And in the major syllable, we see it is limited to Pata, Ka, Mana, Nya, and Rasa, Charge, Ya, and the glottal and the Va. We also have noticed that complex coda do not occur in this language. The onset and coda for War-Jaintia syllables are both optional. It can have words composed of just a peak or a nucleus, and also words without an onset or a coda. Recall, we have said 23 consonants are there. Only 18 of them can occur as an onset in the minor syllable, with the exception of Da, Nya, N, Va, and glottal. All the 23 consonants can occur in the initial position of the major syllable. The nucleus, it's interesting and it's a little bit different from Lingam, I would say, because we do see that there is the nuclei of the minor syllable can either be a vocalic sound with inverted schwa or schwa, and sometimes we do see the And the syllabic nasals are the same. We do have the three nasals, and we do have two syllabic liquids occurring as the nuclei. The nuclei of the major syllable can also be a monophthong or diphthong, as shown below. What happens in this language? Speakers sometimes insert the vocalic sounds, but it's possible to also listen to speakers, especially in narratives. They tend to drop the schwas and then the syllabic consonants show up. In the major syllable, only 12 consonants can occur at the final position. However, we do notice that the fricative sa and the lateral la can occur in borrowed words. And among the stops, only the voiceless stops can occur at the final positions compared to the voiced and the aspirated counterparts. Now, a brief overview of the consonants. The 23 phonemes, consonant phonemes, what we have noted are in line with Vedat's and Varika's work. 12 stops, 4 nasals, 3 fricatives, a trill on lateral, and 2 approximants. The voiced counterpart, as the voiced counterpart is absent at the velar place of articulation, we do notice voiceless aspirated counterparts at all places of the articulation. Stops are unreleased and neutralized word finally. A special note about the palatal affricates and stops. Here I would like to draw your attention to Daladier's work, who reports the presence of palatal affricates in Varamvi, a feature that is not reported by Vedat. In our analysis, the voiceless palatal stop cha is frequently realized as a voiceless palatal affricate cha in word initial position, as in the examples like normally when there is a palatal voiceless one, you can see it is a voiceless palatal affricate. The voiced palatal stop ja also exhibits weak or partial voicing, particularly in the initial position. Despite this kind of variation, both cha and ja remain distinct phonemes in the War-Jaintia system. Looking into the comparative perspectives, especially the observation made by Sidwal, who observes that the Austroasiatic ja is preserved as a voiced stop or affricate in Lingam, Khasi, and Panar, but tends to devoice in the War languages. Our findings support this pattern indeed, showing partial devoicing of the Proto-ja in War-Jaintia. So we can therefore conclude that the War-Jaintia data confirms the Khasi continuum of voice to voiceless palatal evolution. The phonemic inventory with regard to consonants retains several features of Proto-Montgomery and Proto-Khasian. For example, the presence of voiceless stops at 5 places of articulation, voiced counterparts at bilabial, alveolar, and palatal places of articulation, presence of 4 nasals, 2 fricatives, a trill, a lateral, and 2 approximants. And we already noted that War-Jaintia has retained cha and ja as distinct phonemes. However, reflexes and developments can be observed within the system, such as the contrast between the cha and the cha and sa and sha. In some of the villages like Amlerang, Chenong Padang, etc., from Nongtalang location, The alveolar fricative is frequently realized with the dental articulatory setting in initial position. So this was something very interesting when we worked with the community while creating the first alphabet. We had to come out with a letter, especially because we are using Welsh-based Latin script for writing War-Jaintia. So with a lot of discussion, we came out with this letter with the S with the small groove is going to be one of the letters for War-Jaintia. We, of course, all these 23 phonemes are have minimal pairs, and we can see that all are mostly native words here. Sorry. And we do see, interestingly, this War-Jaintia exhibits a lot of consonant clusters. We do have a rich phonological system with 140 consonant clusters representing a significant structural variety. This number exceeds the one reported by Rebel for Kasi, 127, and 107 reported for Lingam by our own group. Out of the 23 consonants, 16 of them can occur as the first member of a cluster, while the following, like glottal and 3 nasals, and we have fricative and the va, and also the ya, which do not occur in this position as a first member. 21 consonants except the aspirated pa and the ya can occur as the second member of the clusters. Homoorganic consonant clusters are generally avoided. For example, you have the word gnad being a notable exception. There are very few exceptions. The clusters which are formed with the tada, thara, thalas, sana, and rana are heteroorganic, and we do have a lot of words with such clusters. Tasar are dentoalveolar when they occur in the initial position of a cluster, as shown in these examples. As we mentioned in the beginning, we have noted an average vowel inventory of 6 monophthongs in War-Jaintia, which are very symmetrical. Vowel quality of the Proto-Montgomery system, as noted by Shorto, is retained in War-Jaintia, whereas the vowel quantity is lost. And we do have 2 diphthongs, ya and uva. These is just a repetition. It's symmetrical with 6 simple vowels. Vowels are observed to raise and or diphthongize from one village variety to another. Here are some examples from Lamin, Soka, Sindai, and Nantalang. You can see the raise or the diphthongization. Vowel nasalization is observed in Tangbuli variety of War-Jaintia, while it is replaced with a nasal sound elsewhere. The front vowel is realized as a near open in Soka variety. So because of these free variations, when we were doing the alphabet, the community were very keen to have these 2 forms as also letters, because they are very, very important for them for their writing. So a and a enter into the alphabet, which are not there in Khasi or Panar.
We are running out of time, Uma.
Yeah,
so
we are almost done. So this is just examples for diphthongs, and I'm concluding. So we just see, I just wanted to mention only the vowel variations here before I conclude. We do see from this one, just one slide and a few words, you can see there are a lot of variations when it comes to vowels. That is why when we were coming out with the first alphabet, we were kind of concern, and maybe we have to also include nasalized vowels and the other forms, the free forms also as letters. Of course, a critical analysis will provide more deeper understanding of the vocalic system. Like I mentioned earlier, War-Jaintia preserves proto-monochema vowel quality while showing reduction in vowel quantity and positional distribution. So, to conclude, we are very happy and proud to contribute something to the community, and also feel like in the near future, whether it is the Indian census or the Bangladesh census, War-Jaintia must find a place as a distinct Khasian language. And linguistically speaking, also, it should find a place in the Northern Monkemar branch, as it shares a lot of traits with Kasi, Panar, and Lingam. The Khasian traits are there, but it also retains older Proto-Khasian features. And the creation of the first War-Jaintia alphabet, developed collaboratively with the community, is being pilot tested, and this marks an important step towards literacy and language development in the region. Here are the references. Thank you very much. And we would like to acknowledge the Northeastern Council, Shillong, for financial support through Ministry of Donor under the scheme MH255231. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Very informative, richly detailed talk. And we have a question from Joe. Please go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Thank you very much for this very nice talk. Actually, interested in the distribution of the vowels.
Yeah.
Could you let me know what whether all the vowels can occur in the so-called minor syllable, like the first syllable in a disyllable?
One moment. So, one moment. The vowels, I think we have only the schwa and the inverted schwa, which are realized as a. I think that's the only one which is occurring in the minor syllable as nuclei. Schwa and inverted schwa. Sometimes we find traces of a. A few, I would say, idiolects, because we did not come across a being used in a minor syllable from many speakers across 22 villages.
And the schwa and the inverted schwa are variants of the same phoneme.
They are not variant, but what happens is in their running speech, the problem is they tend to use, the same thing happens in Lingam too. In running text, they seem to use more syllabic consonants, and very few people will insert schwa or the inverted schwa, but they do have some variations, of course.
I see. Thank you. So you would have a contrast between things like say TD,
Yeah.
sorry, say KT cluster,
Yeah.
contrasting with K, schwa, and T in disyllables, right? Would you have?
I think we need to look into the data. Gami, are you there? Would you be able to answer that?
Yes, ma'am.
Gami is a near native speaker.
Yeah, so we can really identify, suppose there is a word like pata. It's a minor syllable having pa, pata. And then we have a word like maybe tho, which is like brown color. So there is a difference. There is a variation between the two.
Thank you.
We have actually, I did not have time to show one slide, which was very interesting. We have like the more than 12,000 words which are phonological, and we had what do you say, like we see the CVC one, which is having more of frequency compared to the rest of them. So from these 22 villages of 12,650 words or so, we find CVC, which is the most frequent syllable pattern across all the villages. That's also interesting.
So I have a quick question about the dental S that you mentioned.
Yes, yeah.
So was that in that particular lect, was that the regular phoneme, or was that a positional allophone?
I would say it is more an allophone, positional allophone, because only in a few villages, or in some cases it is, I would even treat it like as a free variation in some cases, because only in a few villages we find, and only in some examples, but it is very consistent. Like wherever Sa is used, for example, in Pangbuli, some other village variety would use the dental alveolar instead of the dental fricative. So that was very consistent when we were writing down the language. We observed that they were not ready to use a simple Sa, and they wanted the one for them which are unique only to their language. So one could say with the environment in some villages, I would treat it more as a free variation and less as a positional allophone.
Thank you. Are there any more questions or comments? All right. I have one more if we don't have any other questions. So when you say you're creating orthography, is this to be a universal orthography for these Wa varieties, or is it adapted where their phonology varies?
Their phonology varies, but what we want to do is we want to have a universal one, because we cannot have 22 sets of alphabet for these 22 villages. Some of the villages, they are having like one, they share, we would be able to use them, but there are some varieties which demand, like the sound, for example, the a or the epsilon, the a are not found in many villages. Nevertheless, I feel we should have a universal set, so that we can, any War-Jaintia speaker should feel comfortable to write down their variety. So our team is going for a larger set, which can accommodate all the sounds of the language, and which are acceptable by the community, and which are easy to print, and socio-politically also we see. Like what happens is, otherwise, if you do not have a sound, for example, we don't have Ga in Khasi as in their alphabet, but there are no words, only maybe gospel, one word is there. On the other hand, in Panar, we do have the Cha and the Ga, but they are using the Khasi alphabet, right? So I feel like if we look into these varieties, it's important to take care of all these nuances and have them in the alphabet. For example, the nasalized vowels and all these free variations, because they are not for only one or two words or one or two villages. We have 96 villages in Amlaram area, and that block. And our data, whatever we could do in the 2 years, we have a lot of data with from 22 villages. And we are kind of happy with the first alphabet. Let us put it into testing, the pilot testing, and then we will see how it goes. We have started writing down. The primers and narratives, and the community themselves were writing. So that was interesting. So this is what we are going. We have not yet formally launched the alphabet, because I already told you it is being pilot tested, and then we will take another couple of months or so to come out with the set. This is the beginning, I must say.
All right. So
Yeah.
there's a note from Luke in the chat. What is the requirement for government to include the language in the census?
I wouldn't call it as a language in that sense, because see, this is one of the subgroups of the Khasian language. So when we go and take census, the census enumerators go, some people would, they have reported, some people would report Khasi, some people would report War. They don't say even War-Kasi or War-Jaintia, then Panar. So the main thing is we do not have the exact number of speakers of War-Jaintia in the census, but it is important because all of this will enrich the language group Khasi. Like how for example, in Hindi, there are 50 groups which are put under the umbrella of Hindi in the census of India. So I would feel under Khasi, it's important to have these subgroups and their population figures. If there are varieties of Khasi, or whether we call them as Khasian languages, those are different issues, socio-political issues. But it is important to know how many of them speak this particular Khasian language or variety, or mother tongue, because in census of India, we don't use the terms language, we use the term mother tongue. So if someone says War-Jaintia is my mother tongue, we would like to know how many of them are speaking this mother tongue.
Okay, so we have one more question and then we'll have to wrap up for lunch. So Rimpang has raised his hand.
No.
Thank you, sir. Hello, Dr. Umar. This is
Yeah.
Barika.
Hello, Barika. Nice to see you. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't be from the start of the presentation. I just finished the presentation in the class. So, Dr. Umar, I just have one question regarding the vowel nasalization. You have mentioned that you have observed vowel nasalization in the War-Jaintia variety. And that is what I also have observed in my work. But then regarding the condition of, I'm more curious to know about the condition of the vowel nasalization that you have come across in your data.
I don't have the, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know more on the vowel nasalization.
Yes, right now, I don't have any examples on the screen. So, but since Gami is with us, Gami, would you like to come out with the examples from your head?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Actually, we have noticed vowel nasalization mostly in Amvi variety of Thangbuli. In that variety, we have a lot of vowel nasalization words with A, with E, with A, with O. So there is a difference between the word house as in C and the word sprinkle as in C. Like they are two different words. So likewise, in many other words with A, with O, with U, in Thangbuli variety, you can see the difference between these two. There is a distinction. In other varieties, not much distinction is seen between the nasalization. In some variety, it is converted, like in Nong Talang, C has become Sni.
Sni.
Okay. Then regarding voice qualities, Agami, have you observed any besides, okay, vowel nasalization is one. Then regarding Bredi vowels, have you observed in other varieties of War-Jaintia? The Bredi vowels, as we have in Padu?
Bredi, as for now, I did not come across in our data.
Yeah, we see, we do have a lot of data, but we are our goal was to do the orthography. We of course
yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, we need more analysis. We need more analysis to see that, and of course we need to come to you also for that, because you have worked on comparative phonology in your thesis. You have worked on it. We did notice some examples from your thesis also, but we are yet to analyze these vowel qualities, what you are telling, and also stress, for example. We have also not looked into that. We need to look into it.
Okay, Dr. Uma. Yeah, because you have done a very extensive survey on the data collection of War-Jaintia. So I just wanted to find out whether you have come across these voice qualities in your data. That's all. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Uma.
Thank you, thank you very much. But we were thanks. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Nice to see you guys. So nice. But any other question from Rimfan? Because or the same with Barika. Okay.
Okay,
So Paul, back to you.
we've run well over time, but it's been very interesting. So I think it's time to break for lunch now and to thank our speaker.
So thank you everyone for your comments, and we will share our slides, and people can give more comments to us by email. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll reconvene at 1:30 for the afternoon session.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Paul. Bye.